Welcome to the Lions Tears Ministry. This is Reverend Liz Jackson. Today's sermon is Reality and Society, History of the Roman Catholic Church, Government, and Armies, Part 2. In Part 1, we learned about the breakdown of the meaning of the words Roman Catholic Church and Vatican, as well as touched upon some idol worshiping of their wonderful Mother Mary, and why Latin was and is the official language of the Roman Catholic Church. Again, Mystery Babylon is your entire world. The Pope, all of them, are your false prophets, and the Roman Catholic Church is the whore of Babylon. In Part 2, we're going to identify the origins of Rome. Where appropriate, I will insert questions about the Pope or the Roman Catholic Church, as Abba Yah has directed me to do so. So, what was Rome first called? The Eternal City. It was first called the Eternal City, Latin Urbs whatever, I don't speak Latin, by the Roman poet Tibullus in the 1st century BC, and the expression was also taken up by Ovid, Virgil, and Livy. Rome is also called Caput Mundi, or capital of the world. What does the Holy See mean? Encyclopedia Britannica. The Holy See is the name given to the government of Roman Catholic Church, which is led by the Pope as the Bishop of Rome. As such, the Holy See's authority extends over Catholics throughout the world. Is the Catholic Church a government? U.S. Department of State states the Holy See is the universal government of the Catholic Church and operates from Vatican City State, a sovereign independent territory. The Pope is the ruler of both Vatican City State and the Holy See. Let's find out what the word Catholic means. The word Catholic, usually written with an uppercase C in English, referring to religious matters derived via Latin, means universal, meaning on the whole or according to the whole or in general. So again, the unholy Roman Catholic Church likes to believe that it's the universal church of the world, when in fact it can be. It worships Satan. So if you want to worship Satan, go join the Roman Catholic Church. I'm sure they will be happy to have new recruits, and I'm really talking sarcastic. Please don't go join the Roman Catholic Church. You need to come out of her. So we're going to start with ancient Rome. And again, I just want to clarify that this is not a whole historical presentation. If I did that, I would be in the rabbit hole of the unholy Catholic Church forever. And I'd probably never stop crying, because of the things that I know already was just disgusting. So the rabbit hole ended in Part 5 with Abba revealing to me that the unholy Roman Catholic Church helped Hitler. How about that? So anyway, ancient Rome, and this is from history.com. Beginning in the 8th century BC, ancient Rome grew from a small town on central Italy's Tiber River into an empire that at its peak encompassed most of the continental Europe, Britain, much of Western Asia, Northern Africa, and the Mediterranean islands. Among the many legacies of Rome's dominance are the widespread use of the Roman languages. Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Romanian derived from Latin, the modern Western alphabet and calendar, and the emergence of Christianity as a major world religion. There are 7 legendary kings of Rome. From history.com, Romulus, Numa Pompilius, Tullius Hostilius, Achaeus Martinus. They were referred to as Rex or kings in Latin, and all the kings after Romulus were elected by the Senate. So the first king, Romulus, according to history.com, as legend has it, Rome was founded in 753 BC by Romulus and Remus, twin sons of Mars, the god of war, left to drown in a basket in the Tiber by a king of nearby Alba Longa and rescued by a she-wolf. The twins lived to defeat that king and found their own city on the riverbanks in 753 BC. After killing his brother, Romulus became the first king of Rome, which is named for him. So common sense time, my brothers and sisters. You need to know the similarities of events recorded in the Hebrew Bible that was spoken about Moses, Cain, and Abel. Again, we know that we have been lied to and live in a state of social and collective amnesia. It's important to understand that Adam and Eve and Cain, Moses, occurred before the Roman Empire and that the Bible did not derive from Rome. It has been changed by Rome, but is not where the Bible was written. If that was the case, then Hebrew wouldn't exist. And this is a narrative people try to push to get you to believe the lies that Yah isn't real. And we, at this ministry, are trying to overcome these lies, come out of the system, and into the marvelous light and truth. So, when I typed in historical events on this day in 735 BC, all I got was the above information about Rome being formed. Isn't that interesting? Because again, throughout my entire education, from elementary school all the way up to high school, until I had a choice to choose what I wanted to study, all we heard about was Rome this and Rome that and the Greeks and Rome. What do you think that is? Simple answer. The entire world is the Roman Empire, except it's named the Roman Catholic Church. So, some information that you need to know and take away is this. The prophets that were alive during this time is Jonah from 793 to 753 BC, Isaiah, which is very important, 740 to 681 BC, Hosea, which states in Hosea 4:6, my people perish for lack of knowledge. He was around in 753 to 715 BC, and then Micah from 742 through 687 BC. So those are the prophets that you should be looking at during this time, because they prophesied about Rome and the serpent and everything, the destruction and chaos of those who don't listen. It's all about listening. So 750 to 510 BC, the Roman Legion Army, and this is taken from ancient.edu, states the semi-legendary Clares or Trostli, a 300-man cavalry corps, which the first kings of Rome incorporated into the legion, is formed. Later, their number is increased to 600. So what or whom are the Celeres or Trostli? The Celeres were the bodyguard of the kings of Rome, traditionally established by Romulus, the legendary founder of the first king of Rome. The Celeres comprised 300 men, 10 chosen by each of the curiae. Celeres in Latin or Greek means quick, and it's a name given to the Roman cavalry. Legion is in the Bible. Legion is G3003, and it means a Roman regiment, or it also means a legion of demons, because they are many. And you can find the word legion, which occurs 4 times in four verses of the New Testament in Mark chapter 5:15, Luke 8:30, Mark 5:9, and Matthew 26:53. So the questions that arise for me when I read all that is, does the Pope have guards? and this is quoted by Dr. Franz Wilhelm Lanzek, International and Political History, known officially as the Pontifical Swiss Guard, the small army of around 135 Swiss soldiers based in the Vatican is responsible for the safety of the Pope. The origins of the Swiss Guard date back over 500 years. Late in the Middle Ages, it became a tradition to recruit Swiss mercenaries as special military units. The Swiss soldiers were famous for their military professionalism. The Swiss Guard of the Vatican is the only Swiss Guard that is still active today, or that they're claiming to be active today. The unit was founded by Pope Julius II in 1506. Many guards died protecting a later pope during the looting of Rome in 1527, and commemorating the anniversary of this martyrdom has become since a tradition. Until 1860, popes were also the secular rulers of central Italy and had their own armies. This papal land ownership was lost in the unification of Italy, with the exception of the city of Rome. Today, Vatican City is a sovereign city-state. The tradition of a personal guard for the head of state, the Pope, is preserved. This guard still consists of young Swiss Catholic men up to the age of 30. The second king, Numa Pompilius, from Britannica.com, states he flourished in 700 BC, second of the kings who, according to Roman tradition, ruled Rome before the founding of the Republic in 509 BC. Numa is said to have reigned from 715 to 673. He is credited with the formulation of the religious calendar and with the founding of Rome's other early religious institutions, including the Vestal Virgins, the cults of Mars, Jupiter, and Romulus deified, and the office of Pontifex Maximus. So what is Pontifex Maximus? It's a noun. In ancient Rome, the head of the principal college of priests. In the Roman Catholic Church, it's a title of the Pope. So, since the time of Numa Pompilius in 715 to 673 BC, there was a Pope. And this is why times have changed and changing of times, and why Abba said that you won't know his coming, because people don't look at the definitions. The Pope has been around since at least 715 to 673 BC. Hosea 4:6 says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will forget thy children." So please, don't be destroyed for lack of knowledge. Abba Yah has bestowed this ministry upon me, so whoever has eyes and ears to hear will see and hear what is true, because your souls are on the line. He is coming back, and you should be rejoicing. I am rejoicing. I pray every day, Abba Yah, please come today. And he tells me, not until the fullness of the Gentiles. And I'm just like, can you all please wake up? Please. That's all I want for you, is to wake up and have this part of the first resurrection. That way you know where your soul is going. The third king, Tullius Hostilius, again from Encyclopedia Britannica, traditionally the third king of Rome, reigned from 672 to 461 BC. He was a legendary figure, the legend probably influenced by that of Romulus. Both Tullus and Romulus supposedly carried on war with the neighboring cities of Fende and Veii, doubled the number of Roman citizens, organized the army, and disappeared from Earth in a storm. Such legends are reported as fact by the historian Livy, who wrote from 59 BC to 1780, and Dionysius of Halicarnassus, which flourished in the 1st century BC. It's possible that Alba Longa, about 12 miles southeast of Rome, was destroyed during the years in which Tullus is thought to have reigned. Tullus's reported policy of incorporating Alba into the Roman state and enrolling its chiefs in the Senate is entirely in accord with the historical fact of Rome's early expansion by amalgamation rather than by subjugation. The founding by Tullus of the first Senate chambers, the Cura Hostilla, and of the Cotium, an area directly in front of the Cura where the people meet to vote, may be an authentic tradition. The earliest floor of the Comitium belongs to the late 7th century, and architectural ornaments found there imply the existence of a major building which may have been a Senate chamber. We also must keep in mind that archaeology is discovering lost cities all the time. And just because something has not been found does not mean it isn't real or that it does not exist. And we are taking Abba Yah out of the box of religion and applying him to everything, as he is in all things and has created all things. We also must keep in mind that the Vatican and Rome have worked very hard to hide who we really are, and it is said that the Vatican holds history of everything in its catacombs. So my next question after I've read that is, does the Pope have a Senate? And this is from Vatican.va, the Roman Curia, and exercising supreme, full, and immediate power in the universal church, the Roman pontiff makes use of the departments of the Roman Curia, which therefore performs their duties in his name and with his authority for the good of the churches and in the service of the sacred pastors. So there you have it. Rome has a Senate. The Roman Catholic Church, again, is the Roman Empire, but with a different name. 4th King Acus Marcius flourished around the 7th century, traditionally the 4th King of Rome from 642 to 617 BC. The details of his reign provided by Roman historians such as Livy must be regarded as largely legendary. The settlement of the Aventin Hill outside Rome, the first extension of Rome beyond the Tiber River to the Waculum Hill, and the founding of the port of Ostia at the mouth of the Tiber. And these hills do exist today. They are part of the 7 hills that Rome is built on. So the 5th king, Tarquin, Latin Lucius Tarquinius Persius, his original name was Locomo, and this is taken from Britannica.com. He is traditionally the 5th king of Rome, accepted by some scholars as a historical figure and usually said to have reigned from 616 to 578. He changed his name to Lucius Tarquinius. He was appointed guardian to the son of King Ancus Marcius. Upon the king's death, Tarquin assumed the throne. Eventually, Ancus's son had Tarquin murdered. Tarquiniel then managed to put her son-in-law, Servius Tullius, in power. The legend remains that Tarquin increased the number of persons of senatorial and estriquine rank. He is thought to have instituted the Roman games and to have begun the construction of a wall around the city. So a question I asked in Google was, does the Vatican have a wall around it? The territory of this landlocked sovereign city-state consists of a wall enclaved within the city of Rome, Italy. It has an area of approximately 49 hectares and a population of about 825. This makes Vatican City the smallest independent state in the world by both area and population. My next question was, when was the wall built? In the 9th century, from 801 through 900, in accordance with the Julian calendar. Some of the walls in Vatican City were built in the 9th century by Pope Leo VI in an attempt to protect it from attacks by pirates and other marauders, historians have said. So, Vatican has a wall too. Sixth king is Servius Tullius, and this comes from World Biographical Encyclopedia. King Servius Tullius from 580 to 530 BC introduced 6 classes of wealth upon Roman citizens. The lowest group had no poverty and were excluded from the military, while the highest group, the equites, formed the cavalry. Most Roman sources name Servius's mother as Orcritia, a young noblewoman taken at the Roman siege of Cornicum and brought to Rome either pregnant by her husband, who was killed at the siege, or as a virgin. She was given to Tranquil, wife of King Tarquinius, and though a slave, was treated with the respect due to her former status. In one variant, she became wife to a noble client of Tarquinius. In others, she served the domestic rites of the royal hearth as a Vestal Virgin. And on such occasions, having dampened the hearth flames with a sacrificial offering, she was penetrated by a dimsy-bodied phallus that rose from the hearth. Oh my God. According to Tranquil, this was a divine manifestation, either of the household Lar or Vulcan himself. Thus, Servius was divinely fathered and already destined for greatness, despite his mother's servile status. For the time being, Tranquil and Orcratius kept this a secret. He founded the earliest and most important shrine of the Latin deity Diana on the Aventine Hill. A crucial treaty between Rome and the Latin League is also assigned to his reign. 2 levels of the shrine excavated at the Church of St. Almanobus dated from the time of Servius. So here you go, again, with the let me take Hebrew and mix it up with, profanity. That's what it is. Servius was divinely fathered. Okay? Well, you have to understand that who was alive at this time? Isaiah. Isaiah was alive at this time. And Isaiah prophesied the coming of our Messiah. And as you will learn, you're going to understand that the Virgin Mary is just this, the Vestal Virgin, and their unique way of honoring Diana in the disguise of a vessel Abba Yah used for our salvation. They perverted something holy. Because, let's go back. Isaiah, again, was alive and prophesied during 740 to 681 BC. And this king, let me scroll back to it. This king was king from 580 to 530 BC. So they would have probably most likely heard Isaiah's prophecy. It would have been somewhere written down. So what better way to blaspheme what Abba Yah is trying to do for the salvation of the world by, it disgusts me. They took something holy and placed it upon their God, just like they always do. That's what the unholy Roman Catholic Church does. And it's important that you all understand that, because I don't know how to point it out to you any more clearer than that. But let me reread that. It says, according to Tranquil, this was a divine manifestation, because this woman who was kidnapped, either pregnant by her husband who was killed, or as a virgin, was given to Tanaquil, and then she was tending the flames as a Vestal Virgin and was penetrated by a disembodied phallus that rose from the hearth. So according to Tanaquil, this was a divine manifestation, either by Lar or Vulcan. Thus, Servius was divinely fathered. So again, from the very beginnings of the unholy Roman Catholic Church, they indoctrinated people to believe that whenever Yahushua HaMashiach came, that wasn't him, because how could he be born of a virgin? They already had a king that was divine and manifested. And then not only that, the modern day discussions, I left Facebook, by the way, for these very reasons, but the modern day discussions talk about how, well, that came from Rome, so how do you know she was a virgin? Or, you know, that is Roman indoctrination. Or the Bible has so many similarities that you can't believe it because it was written like this. No, it's quite the opposite. You flip it all around. The Bible was written and Rome took it to blasphemy God because Rome is the seat of Satan. King 7 is Tarquin. Tarquin, Latin for Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, again from Britannica, flourished in the 6th century. He died in 495 BC. Traditionally, the 7th and last king of Rome, accepted by some scholars as a historical figure. His reign is dated from 534 to 509 BC. Eventually, a group of senators led by Lucius Julianus Brutus raised a revolt, the immediate cause of which was the rape of a noblewoman, Lucreta, by Tarquin's son Sextus. The Tarquin family was expelled from Rome, and the monarchy at Rome was abolished around 509 BC. The text of a treaty between Tarquin, probably Tarquinius Superbus, and the city of Gabii did actually exist and was preserved in the Temple of Simo Sanctus in Rome until the age of Augustus, which was 27 BC to 1480. History.com says the end of the monarchy of Rome ended in 509 BC. Rome's era as a monarchy ended in 509 BC with the overthrow of its 7th king, Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, whom ancient historians portrayed as cruel and tyrannical compared to his benevolent predecessor. A popular uprising was said to have risen over the rape of a virtuous noblewoman, Lucreta, by the king's son. Whatever the cause, Rome turned from a monarchy into a republic, a word derived from res, republic, or property of the people. Rome was built on 7 hills known as the 7 Hills of Rome. And these hills are Esquiline, Palatine, Aventine, Capitoline, Querine, Viminal, and Caline Hill. So my next questions were, is the Vatican a monarchy? And History.com has this to say. Vatican City is the smallest country in the world, encircled by a 2-mile border with Italy. Vatican City is an independent city-state that covers just over 100 acres, making it 1/8 the size of New York's Central Park. Vatican City is governed as an absolute monarchy with the Pope at its head. Next question. When did the Vatican become a monarchy again? History.com says in 1929. The dispute between the Italian government and the Catholic Church ended in 1929 with the signing of the Lateran Pact, which allowed the Vatican to exist as its own sovereign state and compensated the Church $92 million, which is more than $1 billion in today's money for the papal state. The next question I asked is, why is the Vatican a monarchy? PBS.org states the Vatican is the last absolute monarchy in the world today. The Pope, when he is elected, is answerable to no human power. He has absolute authority over the entire Roman Catholic Church, direct authority that reaches down to individual members. So I pray you can see and hear this. It's time to come out of her. Abba Yah is coming back, and your souls are on the line. Do not believe the lies any longer. For lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. Proverbs 12:22. I pray that you share this. I pray that you study this. Abba Yah had me use easy things and ask questions. That's all I did. Things that everyone has access to. He told me to keep it simple. Simplicity is key, because Abba Yah, he's not a God of confusion. He's not a God of torture and torment. He is not a God of anything other than simplicity. And all he wants is a relationship with you. He wants to teach you how to have good morals, values, and ethics, and how to treat people as he would treat them. But just like any father, there are repercussions to our actions. And so for some of us who see Abba Yah as a tyrant, don't understand that our behavior, when our hearts and minds are negative, our actions are going to be negative. And therefore, he has to discipline us. Again, I'm a mother. If my daughters act out, I'm not going to reward for bad behavior. And Abba Yah is the same as he was when he created earth, as he will be when he renews this earth. Because that's what Revelation 21 says. Abba Yah says this earth has to be destroyed because of all the corrupt officials running it, the Vatican sitting in the seat of Abba Yah, but really the seat of the serpent, because Google Vatican serpent and you will see that the Vatican is a snake. So again, my prayer is that you can see and show your friends, whether it's this ministry or others. I've done the homework to try to make it as simple as possible. I ask questions where Abba Yah told me to ask questions. There's no reason why that there's homeless people if the Vatican is worth at least $92 million more than that. And that's in another sermon coming up on how wealthy the Vatican is. They talk about eradicating poverty, but they're the ones making wars and people homeless. There should never be a homeless person on the street. Never. But again, it's not a church. The Roman Catholic Church is not a church. It's a government, and it runs the entire world. And I hope you guys can understand and see that.